Hello friends, welcome back. In previous video part 5, we discussed several questions and answers. Now let us continue with the part 6 to cover the remaining questions that are going to ask in the project manager round. Alright. Now, so in the previous video we covered up to which tool you are using to review the source code. So as we discussed, code reviewing is the very important thing for a developer. We need to understand what are the naming conventions that are following and what are the comments that we are adding. Are there any unused methods, or are there any unused variables, unused input statements? All these mistakes can be identified by using code review tool. Fine. Next question number 73. What is the code coverage tool using in your project? First of all, what is a code coverage? Right? We are going to perform unit testing of our code by using JUnit. As part of the unit testing, how many lines of our source code is tested? We need to measure that. For that, we are going to use code coverage tool. How much is source code is tested as part of the unit testing by using JUnit? To measure that, to generate a report for that, we are going to use a code coverage tool. There are several tools are available for performing this code coverage. One of the tool is Jacoco. So we can say that Jacoco is a plugin in the pom.xml. If you use that Jacoco plugin, then it will tell you how much percentage of the code is tested in the unit testing. Fine. This is also important factor for the projects. Next, what is a Scrum and Sprint? So as we discussed, the Scrum is a daily stand-up meeting where we are going to discuss with the Scrum Master what we have done yesterday and what is the plan for today. Are we facing any problems in doing our tasks in the given time? Those things that all the team members will join in a meeting and will discuss for some time. The duration of the Scrum will not be more than 30 minutes. So that Scrum meetings are going to conducted by Scrum Master. Right. Next one. This procedure you can see in the Agile methodology development. Next one, sprint. A sprint is a duration of delivery of a project. So the specific time frame like 2 weeks or 3 weeks will be the duration of a sprint. Sprint means these many tasks that we are going to deliver to the client within the given time. Scrum is a daily stand-up meeting. Sprint is a release. How many tasks that we are going to deliver to a client within the given amount of time. These two words related to Agile methodology. Next. Here, the one next question is the question number 75. In your resume, you mentioned Linux operating system. Tell me some Linux commands. Right, this is also important for experienced person because we are going to work with log files in the project. Logs will be generating in the Linux machine. By using putty, we are going to connect with that Linux machines, right? So we should know some commands that are from Linux operating system. List command ls, grep command, which is used to search for something in a file. Cp, copy command, remove to delete your files. Head, to get the data from the top of the file, we will use head command. To get the data from bottom of the file, we will use the tail command. If you want to edit any particular file, then we can go for vim commands. So these are some basic commands that we should know from the Linux operating system as an experienced person, because in the project log files will be there. To monitor those logs or to get the log messages, we should use putty. To use the putty, we should know the Linux machine commands, Linux operating system commands. These are the several basic commands that are there in the Linux operating system. Fine. Next, have you ever involved in a KT session? Question number 76. First, KT stands for knowledge transfer. So when you newly joined in a project, you don't know anything about the project. In order to start working on that project, you should get some knowledge about the project. Existing project team members will provide you some information related to that project, that is called as a knowledge transfer. Or in your current project, if some new person joined, you should provide knowledge to that person about your project, that is called KT session. So you can say that yes, I involved in the knowledge transfer sessions. When I joined in the company, my team member provided me a KT, and 1 month back one new person joined in our company, in our project. For them I provided a KT about my project, like that. Right. Question number 77. Why you want to change from your current job? Yes, interesting, right? So here you can say that from 3 years I'm working for the same company daily. I'm seeing the same screens and routine stuff. I want to improve my domain skills, and I want to improve my functional knowledge and technical knowledge. I want to work with new technologies, because I'm looking for a career growth. That's why I'm looking for a job change. And the most important thing is salary hike. right? In the software industry, there is a slogan: Rolling Stone gains more mass. How many companies you change, that much salary you are going to get, right? Yeah, I'm joking that. Generally, most of the people will change for salary growth and to enhance their technical skills and all those things, right? So you can say any one of the reason here, like career growth or latest technologies want to work on, or I'm looking for a salary growth because of these reasons I want to change from my current company. Like that, you can explain, right? Next one, question number 78. If one of your team member not completing task on time, then how you will deal with him? So this is like checking your attitude and checking your behavior. You should be flexible to the project, right? And you should know how to deal with the people. Fine. So you can say like this: if any person is not working properly, first I will guide them to understand the requirements and to do the things properly. I will help them in the initial stages to make sure he will complete his tasks on time. After doing all these things also, still if he's not meeting his goals, so then I will escalate it to my higher authority like my manager, saying that this person is not working. Even I tried helping him, but he's not grabbing the things on time. I cannot work with this person, and I will escalate to my manager. So like this you can explain this question, right? Next one, question number 79. Have you ever provided a data fix for a production system? Yes, so data fix is also a very very interesting concept when the project is in the production environment. So then in the applications we have a batches, right? Batches are going to perform the bulk operations on the database for the business conditions and for the business situations. Suppose let's assume a scenario: one of the batch is executed with the incorrect date, or one of the batch executed with the incorrect logic, which corrupted so much data in the database, like it has terminated all the people plans incorrectly because of some coding issue or because of some exception in the code. The batch processed the records triggers incorrectly, all the people plans got terminated, which is not unexpected behavior. Then what we need to do? Are the clients are going to accept if the plans are terminated? No, right? Then what we need to do? We need to flip the data, or we need to move the data back to the previous state. So that's where we are going to update the data in the database directly. So that updating the data in the database from the production system is called as a data fix. So we should be very careful while we are working with the data fix in the production. We need to get lot of approvals from the managers and the quality team and from the client, then only we can proceed with the data fix. Generally in the companies, data fix situations will be there for the production system, where we are going to update the data in the backend directly in order to make sure our customers will not complain about the project, right? So you can also say that yes, in my company, in my project, last month one of the batch executed incorrectly due to some exception, so it corrupted almost 10,000 records in the back end of the customer's plans data. Then we identified how many records are corrupted by this batch execution. Then we flipped those records back to the normal state or pending state to reprocess them with the current logic. So that's where I provided a data fix for the production system. Like this you can explain that. All right. Next, question number 80. How you will do DDL change in SIT or UAT environments? First of all, DDL, data definition language, like adding a new column to the table or modifying the column name or modifying the data type of the column. These things comes under DDL. So generally as a developer, we cannot perform this DDL directly on the higher environment like SIT or UAT. You cannot change the database directly, right? We need to follow the proper channel to do these changes to the database. So every project will have a dedicated to the database team. For them we need to send a request. If we want to create a new table in the database, we need to send the request to them with the proper information: what is the table name, what are the columns, what is the primary key, what is the sequence required, and what is the name of the sequence, what is like what are the indexes you want for the table, what are the triggers that are required for the table. All these informations we need to send to the DB team, where they are going to create for that, where they are going to help us in order to perform the DDL changes to the project. So then some companies will use ticket mechanism. If you want a change in the DB, you need to raise a request in the Jira, assign the request to the database team, then they are going to work on that task. In some companies, the request will be sending in the form of emails, where we will loop our manager and a team lead saying that, hey database administration team, please change the column name from this value to this value as part of so and so requirement. Then manager has to approve, then they are going to take that activity, they are going to do that. But as a developer, generally we don't do that change in the database directly, we will not have the access for that. Fine. Next one, question number 81. Have you done any documentation for project? Yes, generally project managers are very interested about the documentation, right? So you need to convey them or you need to satisfy them by saying that yes, I prepared some service documents and release documents for my project. Suppose when you are implementing a microservices in the project, you should provide the information about your service, what the service is doing, from where the request is coming, what is the processing is happening in the service, what is the response it is going to return, if the exception occurs, how the API is going to behave. All that information we need to maintain in a document that is called service document. And sometimes when you are releasing a project to the production, you need to specify the release document also, like what are the endpoints of the API and several informations that we need to capture, right? And some user documentation also will be available, like to provide the KTs for the new users we need to provide documentation. So you need to say that yes, I involved in the documentation of service and release documents and user guides I prepared for my project. So then he will feel bit happy, yes, because you know the documentation also. All right, next, question number 82. Where you want to see you yourself after 3 years? So that means what is your future plans for next 3 years, right? So generally you can say that you inform him saying that I want to work with the new functional domains and I want to improve my knowledge from the both the functional standpoint as well as the technical standpoint, and I want to learn some new technologies on my own, so which are having a trending in the market, like cloud platforms and dev operations and AWS. I want to learn the new technologies which are having a growth in the future, and I want to do few certifications on like Java certifications, or I want to do our DevOps certifications or Salesforce certifications, so that any technology that I want to learn, I want to make a certified person in that. So like this is the future plan for me, like that you can explain in that interview. Next, what is your notice period? So this one is they are going to ask you this question to understand how soon you can join in that project, or how soon you can join in a company. So generally that notice period will be there like 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. So that depends on your company. In your offer letter you can check what is the notice period of your company, then you can say that. If you say 2 months or 3 months is the notice period, then manager may ask you, is it possible to negotiate, because we want a resource like you immediately, then can you how soon you can join? Then you may say that I need to talk to my manager and my HR team to negotiate. Officially my notice period is 2 months. I need to talk to my manager how soon he can release me, then I can update you. So like that you can explain what is your notice period, is it possible to negotiate it or not. So all right, we covered almost 83 questions here. And so as part of this videos we understood almost 83 project manager round interview questions and answers. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have any concerns or if you need more information about this, you can connect with me using my Facebook group, that is Ashok IT School. And please subscribe to my channel in the YouTube to get upcoming videos, and you can drop me a note by using my personal email ID, which is ashokitschool@gmail.com. Thank you. Signing off.